Hey guys, Ebony Boss here, and today I'm going to be doing a storytime video, which is a really recent storytime. It's basically about me reading some of the cast of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 8. As we all know, I'm a huge fan of RuPaul's Drag Race. I love doing drag, love watching drag shows, love watching drag videos. Anything related to drag is me. So, when my parents told me they got me second row seats with a meet and greet to the Season 8 tour of RuPaul's Drag Race in Buffalo, New York, I was bouncing off the walls. Best day of my life. So, let's go through the story and talk about what happened and everything like that. So the tickets cost $150 a ticket, so only me and my dad went. He had never seen a full episode of his RuPaul's Drag Race. Remember that, because that'll come into play later in the story. So, we had bought the tickets. 3 weeks later, it's the night before. I'm getting ready. I'm packing up 4 different outfits, 3 wigs, 2 pairs of shoes. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to wear. Packed up all my makeup into a big duffel bag. And I put my drag stuff in a suitcase, and me and my dad shared a suitcase because we were only going to be there for 2 days for our regular outfits. So, we drove 4 hours. Our car broke down on the way. So, we basically drove 6 hours because we had to get towed. Our car had to get towed over to the dealer and the fixer center. Then they had to fix our car, and then we got back on the road and we went. So we got to our hotel room around 3:30ish, and the meet and greet started at 6. So I was like, okay, I gotta get right on my makeup. So I got my makeup done. It looked great, best I've ever looked, in my opinion. And then I started putting on an outfit. We tightened my corset. Everything was ready. Everything went perfectly. Everything was good. The only problem we had with the meet and greet was that we didn't know when we were supposed to be there until the day of. So we had no information of where we were supposed to go, when we were supposed to get there, what time we were supposed to get there, all that kind of stuff. All the mini details. We didn't know. So we got there. We knew we had to be there at 6 since the day of. So we got there around 5 thinking, okay, we'll be the first ones in line. We were, at the beginning, we were the first ones there. But then more people came in, and they somehow got in front of us in line by checking in earlier than us. We couldn't check in until 5:45, so we sat there for 45 minutes, waiting for it to be time. So once it hit 5:45, they said, okay, if you're a super fan, come to us. So we ran with our tickets over to where they said superfan, because that was us. We were the superfan row. So we got our lanyards that said superfan. If you want to look at that, it has Bob over here, Kimchi, Naomi, Thorgy, Chi-Chi, and Katya. So we got this lanyard that was for us saying we were a superfan. And then we got the autograph poster. So, obviously my dad got one too, and I'll talk about what I'm doing with that later. Not doing a giveaway, sadly. But, this is the poster. It's signed by Kimchi, Naomi, Bob, Thorgy, Chi-Chi, and Katya. And so apparently at other locations, they had Robbie and Derek, which I'm fine with not seeing them because they weren't my favorites. They were good, they weren't my favorites. So I got 2 posters and 2 lanyards. My day had already become blown out of proportion. It was beautiful. Everything was great. So then, we had another 15 minutes to get into the lobby. So once it was 6 o'clock, they brought us into the lobby. Then we went to the merchandise stand. Oh, the shirts were amazing. I got one. I got a Kimchi shirt, as you can see. And she signed it, which is amazing because Kimchi's awesome. So basically, Kimchi was there, and not at the merchandise booth, but she signed it later. I'll talk about that later. But they had Kimchi shirts, Thorgy posters, Katya posters, and Bob posters and Kimchi posters, and Bob t-shirts. They didn't have anybody else's t-shirts, which was kind of sad, but whatever. I love Kimchi, so I got Kimchi's. So then after we did our merchandise, shopping, and we all got what we wanted, because there was a lot of people there, at least 30 for a meet and greet. It was pretty big for a drag meet and greet. We all went backstage, and there was no one there. There was the guy running it, and that was it. We're okay, where are the queens? Are we actually going to get to meet them? And so we got there, and he's okay. He's making all these jokes. He was great. He was really funny. And he's like, okay, you guys can go over there, ask some dirty questions, some regular questions, some deep questions, some sexual questions, any kind of questions you want, because they're going to be pulling questions for a Q&A. Mine didn't get chosen, but the question I asked was for Bob. If he didn't win, who would he want to win? Not too interesting, so I was not expecting it to get chosen. So we did that, and then they brought the queens out. Everybody but Thorgy was there, and we're all like, where's Thorgy? And then it turned out that Thorgy had hurt her back really bad, and she wasn't even going to be able to perform standing up today, like at our show, which is kind of disappointing, but she made it up for us, so it was good. So we got our meet and greet. I gave them all my handwritten notes because I wasn't able to get them their gifts on time, so I just scratched the gifts, and I wrote them notes. So I was able to give them all their notes. Katya offered to take Thorgy's, which is really sweet for her. I thank you for that, Katya. And then, once we took pictures, Kimchi almost forgot to sign my shirt, which was so funny. And then I couldn't understand what she was saying, but she was saying something, and I had to clarify with her, and we just talked for a little bit. It was great. She was the nicest, by far. So, Kimchi was great. They were all super sweet, but Kimchi was like a level up. She was just amazing. So then we got to the show. Well, not yet, but next would be the show, hopefully you would think. But then we had an hour break until they opened the doors for the show, because we got done at 6 for the meet. Like 6:30ish for the meet and greet, 6:15. And then we had to wait till like 7 to come back in. So we couldn't get in the lobby until 7. So we went and got dinner. I'm in full drag, I'm getting dinner. Everybody's giving me looks, I'm like, whatever, I'm fabulous. So we kept doing that. I ate my dinner, got to the show. It was 7 o'clock. Saw my friend Jordan there, which was amazing. I've seen her locally, and we met at a pub locally. And so we got in, we were waiting in the lobby, waiting to be let into our seats. She was front row, I was second row, which was amazing. So we get there, and we sit in our seats after talking with this other girl about drag and just loving it and everything. And my dad has never seen a full episode of Drag Race, so he didn't know what he was expecting. And so we get in there, they started the show after playing music, we took lots of pictures, which I'll put everything at the end. So then Katya asked, is there anyone who hasn't seen Drag Race before? And I bet you know what I did. I pointed at my dad multiple times, and Katya's like, oh, you haven't seen Drag Race. So then she calls my dad out for it, and explains Drag Race, explains everything as she's going, and keeps referring to my dad as Nancy or Bob, which was hilarious. She was so funny as a host. She was great. So that was a bright moment. Then we realized during intermission, after the first round of performances, which were hilarious, and Bob did a purse first off, where all these people came up and walked to see who could do the purse first, entering the room with purse first best. And so there was a little girl who was 5, all the way to a 50, 60-year-old grandma, like a 70-year-old grandma, I'm pretty sure, who had heels taller than mine. And my heels were 6-inch heels, so I don't know how she's walking 7-inch heels, but who knows. And they all won a t-shirt that was signed by Bob. So that was fun. Then intermission, we turn around, and guess who was sitting a row behind us? Darian Lake and Mrs. Kasha Davis. So of course, natural instinct of a Drag Race fan, you run over and ask for a picture. So I got a picture with them. They were super sweet. I talked to them after the show, and they were really nice. I thanked them for taking pictures with me, and they seemed so happy that they were having such a good time. People cared about them still. Because sometimes you feel when you're a reality TV show and it's a competition, you fear the next season they're gonna get you're gonna get blown over, but you don't. So I met Mrs. Kasha Davis and Darian Lake. Then the second act of the show came. It was a little faster. They went from performance to performance to performance with no talking. And Thorgy in the first act was in a wheelchair. And then Thorgy did the Bob's purse Raven thing that she does really well. In a wheelchair with Bob pushing her around. That was funny. It wasn't planned, but it was funny. And then she gave a speech when standing up in flats the second half. Then they did Kimchi and Naomi did hers. Naomi's shoe broke during the middle of her second performance, and it was so funny. She laughed it off, didn't know what to do for a second, and then picked it right back up, and she just took it off and broke it and used it as a telephone. It was so funny. She was flawless. A lot skinnier in person than she is on the camera, and that's saying something. She was beautiful though. They all were. Then Kimchi did her performance, and that was great. Then Chi-Chi did hers. Chi-Chi was by far the best performance of the night. Both of hers. She did I Am Telling You in like a mashup with another song I'm not so sure on. And then she did some other song. But the other song at the end, the one that I'm talking about now, she did flips on the stage. She was doing jumps into splits, flips into splits. She did flips down the aisle of the audience. Like, she took all the stunts out. It was great. And Katya did perform one number. That was good. It was good. I liked it. Katya's more of a comedic queen for me, so like, she was great at performing, and don't get me wrong, but I think her strong talent was more with the comedic, like, hosting. And so, then Bob did a performance of I Dreamed a Dream from Les Mis mixed with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s speech, I Dream a Dream, or whatever it's called. Sorry if I'm getting that wrong. Blanking right now. Oh, I Have a Dream, that's what it's called. Sorry about that. It's all I Have a Dream. And then they did a Q&A, they asked some questions. Darian Lake and Kimchi like sumo wrestled almost. It was funny. And then we left after meeting the Drag Coven. I got to meet the Drag Coven, so shout out to them. They're great. They were really nice. And so basically, it was just a great night overall. Performances were amazing, costumes were amazing, everything was amazing. It went swimmingly. The people sitting next to us were great. Everything was perfect. And so, we're talking about the extra poster. My friend Keegan, her birthday was, sorry, I have two friends, Keegan. I was thinking the other one. Was the 9th. So my dad was like, well, you can give the poster to Keegan for her birthday. I was like, that'd be great, thank you. So Keegan's getting a free signed poster, which was great. So yeah. I don't know if she's going to want the lanyard, but whatever. So basically that was my story time video. My friend did get to go to Layla after, which I wanted to go see Layla at the bar down the road after, but I couldn't. So I had a great time. Everything went really well. Nothing went wrong. Everything was perfect. Overall, it was a great experience. I rated it at 10 out of 10. If you get a chance to go to the show, go to the show. It was amazing. So yeah, that's it for this storytime video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Bye! And now stay tuned for all the pictures and like videos.
Going by with lipstick on.